Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Tanden, thank you for being here. Congratulations on your nomination. Let me start with a question about corporate special interests, if I could. This question relates to your broad view, I think, of the economy and society. Let me just ask you, do you think that Wall Street and big tech companies have too much influence in our economy and society today?
Yes.
I'm glad to hear you say that. I agree with you. And I've talked for years now about these concentrations of power, how they stifle competition, hurt small business, and ultimately hurt working people. I want to ask you about a report from the New York Times and other outlets suggesting that you solicited tens of millions of dollars in donations from Wall Street and Silicon Valley companies as president of the Center for American Progress, including very large contributions from Mark Zuckerberg. I understand that in early 2019, Senator Sanders actually wrote to your organization suggesting that these corporate interests may be inappropriately influencing your work. Can you just give us a sense of how you will, if you're confirmed as OMB director, how you will advocate for working people, given this history of soliciting tens of millions of dollars from the biggest and most powerful corporations on the planet?
Senator, the role of OMB is to serve the public, and I am 100% committed to that role. And let me say that, just to be clear, I believe that the Center for American Progress took funding from the Chan Zuckerberg Foundation, not Mark Zuckerberg directly, but I completely take the point about concerns about funding. And I can commit to you that I will always uphold the highest ethical standards. I will work with career folks at OMB to make sure I do so, but I will also say that no policy or position I have taken has been determined by the financial interests of any single person.
$665,000, I think, from the personal foundation of Mr. Zuckerberg. Millions of dollars from Wall Street financiers, big banks, foreign governments, Silicon Valley, $1 million from the managing partner at Bain Capital, $2.5 million from the UAE. That was between 2016 and 2018. Given this record, how can you assure us that you'll work to see that these Silicon Valley and Wall Street firms don't exercise undue influence, frankly, influence that they've already got in the making of government policy and the control of our economy? I mean, how can you assure us that you're going to be an independent actor when you've been so close to them to have raised so much money over all these years?
I really appreciate that question, and I would say I and the Center for American Progress aggressively take on the role of Facebook and tech companies. Have called for higher taxes on companies, regulations of Wall Street, financial transaction tax. I'm proud of the record of the Center for American Progress and policies that will limit the power of Wall Street, limit the power of tech companies. I would welcome the opportunity to talk with you and work with you on those ideas, because I do agree with you that corporate special interests have too much power in our discourse. And so whether it's a financial transaction tax or other proposals, obviously I take on my role as OMB director would be one in which I follow the tax policy of the president. But it is my orientation that we need to rebalance power in our economy. And I hope there are ways you and I could work together in those arenas.
Good.